Thank you, Mr. Tan. I just received a call from our volunteer workers, and apparently the crowd has spilled over beyond the fence of Hong Lim Park. They are standing all around us, outside the pavement, even behind us here. All my volunteers around asked me to say that they estimate the crowd is 4,000 plus, close to 5,000. I've not verified this, but I don't think my volunteers are wrong. Alright, I can now call upon the next speaker, Mr. Nizam Ismail. He is with a legal profession, but he works as a civic social worker. Mr. Nizam Ismail. Alright, just one more announcement. My volunteers also say that there are many of you who are here with us, have parked the car along the double yellow lines. But please be aware that you're not supposed to park there, okay? Alright, just be aware, huh? Alright? If you think you are holding up traffic, let me move your cars, okay? What can I say? Alright?
Good afternoon, fellow Singaporeans.
Afternoon!
You know, from where I'm standing, it's a really incredible sight. All your umbrellas look like flowers sprouting from the ground. And that's really what the white paper should be about. It should be about a grounds-up movement. It should be about celebrating the diversity of flowers that are at Hong Lim Park right now. Now, fellow Singaporeans, the white paper has stated that it places Singaporeans at the core. The question is this: has it really? Do you believe it? No! Now, what does it mean to place Singaporeans at the core? My argument today is that the white paper has not placed Singaporeans at the core. And as Singaporeans, we must reclaim that rightful place to be placed at the core. And that is the one single message in my speech today. There are many arguments that have been made about the contents of the white paper. But today I will focus on the process of the white paper. To me, if in fact Singaporeans are at the core, the white paper, which is a complex, important document talking about many important issues affecting you and I as Singaporeans, should not have been rushed to Parliament with such ruthless efficiency.
That's right!
Without an open public consultation. I ask you this: where was the voice of Singaporeans in the white paper debate? Yes, it's here today. Thank you for the love, brother. Okay. Now, we know that the government conduct many public consultations. They do many briefings on a lot of issues which are of lesser significance compared to the white paper. The point is this: they know how to do public consultations. It's not rocket science. And if Singaporeans were initially concerned about the white paper, the manner in which it was rushed through without consultation made that feeling of concern change into anger. So my question is this: was it not important to listen and consider the thoughts, the fears, the aspirations of Singaporeans if we are in fact at the core? Now, we all know there's a Singapore conversation. Okay? Okay, let's put aside the skepticism for one second. Putting aside the skepticism, the point is this. It would have been easy for the government to leverage on the Singapore conversation if in fact it had wanted to listen to the voices of Singaporeans. It's not hard. Again, there was a ready platform. Why didn't it do that? But what did we see, fellow Singaporeans? We see a paper that was rushed through Parliament, and after it was passed, the motion was passed on the paper. So, after the motion was passed, what was the byproduct? After the motion was passed, it was only then that there was a realization that, wait a minute, we forgot to do one thing. Thank you, brother. We should have consulted Singaporeans and keep the debate going. To me, that is putting the cart before the horse. That's right! Or the phrase I used when I was a child, terbalik kot. So my question is this, why is it that the entire machinery of the state forgot to do this public consultation? So much love today. Why was there no consultation of civil society groups? Because we view them with suspicion? Because people are fearful that we have hidden agendas? But in truth, that was regrettable because many civil society or interest groups reflect many different aspirations of Singaporeans, and they can actually give meaningful feedback to the white paper. That's right. The other thing that troubles me, I have a blog, and I think many of my fellow speakers here also have blogs, is that the attitude towards social media and blogs is regrettable. There have been more than one expression that these are mere noises. Whoa! Now when you say something as hurtful as that, it means there is no value in the noise. Let's hear some noise, Singaporeans. You know, you are one incredible crowd. And so now we are left with a rather strange situation. The motion was passed in Parliament. And now, after the motion has been passed, there's a realization that we should do a public consultation. Now, in light of this, many might feel, you know, what's the point of it because the motion has been passed? And this raises more question. So what happens if after doing a public consultation, the government realizes that, hey, maybe Singaporeans don't like the white paper after all? Will Parliament then reconsider the motion that has been passed?
Toilet paper.
I strongly feel that it is important for the government to engage Singaporeans. And what do we mean by engaging? It means an emotional involvement and commitment. It goes to the issue of the heart, ladies and gentlemen, the heart. It's about listening, accepting that there is a diversity of opinions and views, so we can arrive at the best decisions for Singapore and for Singapore to be resilient. I think we already run a high risk of groupthink. Groupthink means that people come together, they're all similar, and they think that there's only one right way of doing things. and that there is a misperception that only elites are fit enough to think for Singaporeans.
Absolutely no!
Let me read to you an editorial in the Sunday Times, and this was the Sunday after the Friday of the white paper was passed. And I quote, "Because issues like a low fertility rate and a rapidly aging population is a complex problem with many issues in the mix, demographics, the structure of the economy, immigration policy, and even questions what it means to be a Singaporean, it isn't possible for ordinary Singaporeans like you and I to absorb and fully understand all the arguments and implications." Do we accept this? Ladies and gentlemen, this smacks of elitism.
We are not dumb!
I don't think you and I are incapable of deciding the future that we want, the physical space that we want, and the social space that we want, and the future for our children. As Singaporeans, you and I want to have a stake in setting that picture and vision for 2030. Now, had there been a consultation, my view is that a lot of the fundamental problems with the white paper could have been avoided, or at least they would have thought harder about certain assumptions. For instance, we take it as, the white paper takes it as a given, we must have a total fertility rate of 2.1. Now again, that may not be the case because there have been arguments and discussions that we might not hit 2.1 because... Thank you, brother. I have 7. Sorry, 6.5 because 1 is coming up. But I'm doing my thing as a Singaporean. Another example of what the white paper missed was the issue of social mobility. Now, we live in society that has got a very large income gap. Have you heard of the term Gini coefficient? Yes! I'm sure we all know that. And again, this is something we don't want to be top of the class of. But a UN survey puts us as number 2 in certain developed economies in the world. So my question is this, with immigration coming on board, what do you think will happen to that income gap? It's going to be wider. And that means that the divide between the haves and the have-nots is just going to grow wider. Is this the Singapore that we want? No! Another issue that the white paper did not discuss is what is the effect of immigration on prices, on the prices of property, on the prices of the basic goods that you and I pay for. And in terms of immigration policies, will there be more transparency and accountability in the implementation of immigration policies? So these are just some of the issues which I think could have been more properly discussed and debated had there been a public consultation, because Singaporeans will definitely bring up these issues to the government. Now, there was this other Straits Times commentary which says that Singaporeans should get over the emotional hump. Do you think this misses the point? Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, the point is that issues in the white paper are also emotional issues. They are emotive issues. They are issues of what it means to be a Singaporean. They are issues of what kind of physical and social space that we want for us and our children. And so the white paper has to appeal to our hearts in as much as it has to appeal to our intellect. Now, you don't win the hearts of Singaporeans by ruthless efficiency and rushing through a white paper in Parliament. So now that the motion has been passed by Parliament, my view is that it must ring hollow because your voices and my voice has not been heard.
That's right! Yes!
But there is still room to make amends. there is time for the government to issue a green paper, which is a practice in some other countries, where there is consultation of the public. Have an open public consultation, consult various groups and civil society, and the green paper will take precedence over the white paper. Ladies and gentlemen, as Singaporeans, we must reclaim the core. Because that is our rightful space. Thank you.
Thank you, Nizam. Thank you. I have an announcement to make. One of our attendees here has dropped her identity card, and she said she handed it over to one of our volunteer workers. Whoever the volunteer workers will have it, can you please forward it to our desk here? Okay, yeah, all right. Thank you. That's immediate. So please rest assured, your ID is here, okay?